Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It has been a while again, of course, having nothing to talk about, but I actually do have something to discuss today, and some of you may find it interesting, some of you may find it completely boring and uninteresting whatsoever. So, for those of you who watched my last video and it got about 500 views, I mentioned something called fake plastic ball syndrome, man. There is an actual word for that, and it's called being a contrarian, or holding a contrarian position. And I've heard this thrown around a lot towards people like Helsing 920, A Salieri, Razor Fist, in my opinion, does this a lot. So we have dramatubers like the Archfiend and Undertaker Freak and all the people associated with that over there that tend to do it. And basically what this is someone who goes against the popular opinion or goes and supports something that is unpopular because there's less people supporting that. And when you go and you back up something that is unpopular, well, because you're in the unpopular crowd and you might be the one with the most voice, people tend to flock to you that's in that unpopular crowd. This is like me, for example, a lot of teenagers like Justin Bieber. And if you upload a video about Justin Bieber being awesome and everything, you're probably not going to get a lot of views. You're probably not going to get a lot of attention because all the people that are going to be looking for videos like this are going to say, of course. And then there's people that make anti-Justin Bieber videos because that's not in the popular opinion, especially with little children. Therefore, you hold the title. You get to stand as the king of people that hate Justin Bieber if you get enough views or if you get enough popularity in your specific area. How ironic is that, ladies and gentlemen? You go against the popular opinion just so you can be popular yourself. And a lot of people tend to do this. How can you distinguish a person who is a contrarian from a person who is just speaking their mind? Well, in the case of someone like the Archfiend, they tend to flip-flop a lot on issues. For example, there was an issue maybe last year or 2 years ago. And I remember this specifically because I remember laughing my ass off at how people were going completely nuts over this issue. But there was a problem with a YouTuber named That's So Jack, and I had no clue who this was, and apparently a guy named Kame Yabams at the time was talking a lot about these people that no one cared about, no one knew about, and should frankly have just ignored. But instead, there was a big rant or something that went along saying that these kids sucked and these kids made videos that were lame and unoriginal. They're just kids, but you know what? I wanted to pay attention to this stuff. I wanted to see how it went. And for such a menial issue, the Archfiend got up, stood on his soapbox, and was like, "This guy has awakened the old Archfiend. It is time to get down and dirty. It is time to go after these people. We're going to show them what's up. We're going to show them what's going down." And essentially, nothing really happened. I think That's So Jack apologized for trying to falsely flag a bunch of people, but that was about it. Now, there's issues later on that the Archfiend, however, will say, "That's just a meta topic. Everyone's talking about that. Let me tell you about something that's more important than these people." And a more recent example is PewDiePie. Everyone was talking about PewDiePie. It was a topic that the Archfiend would definitely want to chime in on and talk about because it's a YouTube whore that has gotten popular by yelling in his microphone and making weird faces and has been generally misleading in some instances. Not as much as as other people like maybe Smosh and such, but the Archfiend decided, oh, this topic is just not worth my time. Let me list off 5 things that are more important than PewDiePie. You see the big difference here? The Archfiend, as long as he gets to be part of the center of attention, will talk about various YouTubers. No matter how popular they are, as long as he's the center of attention, as long as he's getting more views, I'm going to keep uploading these videos that a lot of people probably won't care about. But I'm going to go ahead and upload a video why these people talking about PewDiePie or why these people talking about such and such just need to stop. There's more important things to do in life, people, than talk about PewDiePie. Meanwhile, That's So Jack, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start making videos about him. I'm going to start making videos about Smosh. I'm going to start making videos about, what was it, a long time ago, iJustine, Shane Dawson, various other YouTubers, but as long as you're not the center of attention, as long as you're not leading the charge against these horrible YouTubers, you could care less. And you make videos saying why people should not be talking about this, and it flip flops. You know, you have the Archfiend does it sometimes, and then you got Undertaker Freak that will come by and say, "Oh, this subject should not be talked about." So what if Google is doing this? So what if this is happening? Everyone else is talking about it. Let's pay attention to something else. Meanwhile, later on down the line, our Undertaker Freak 1127 will become the main issue, the person to take charge of certain issue, and he will be there to lead his fans and lead certain people onward to victory or whatever. And it becomes annoying because you flip-flop on so many issues, then the only explanation is that you do not care either way. You want the views, you want the money. How ironic for people who talk about YouTube whores to become what I like to call drama whores. Oh man, how ironic. How ironic for these people. And again, the contrarian position does not offer any sort of long-term support in the long run. Sure, you'll get some subscribers, but your views will not increase because you cannot hold a simple position. If you're against YouTube whores, then you're against YouTube whores. What's the difference between whether you make the video first and this person makes the video first? The prime example with Undertaker Freak 1127 was a guy named Sexy Phil. He made a video about Sexy Phil and how bad he was and such and such. Then, I believe a week later, he mentioned something about That's So Jack being, I believe it was either That's So Jack being irrelevant or it was vice versa. Sexy Phil being irrelevant and That's So Jack being a major issue. And then a week, it was That's So Jack, which was not the major issue. And then a week later, he makes man, I'm sorry, Kimmy, you Bams, you got your channel removed by That's So Jack. That's horrible. Even though a week earlier he said something along the lines of this stuff happens all the time and you can start over. But it's the contrarian position. It holds no purpose. It holds no real moral grounds for you. And a lot of people seem to be doing this. Helsing 920, a guy who reviews movies, majorly took a hit. Not in his, maybe his subscribers and view base, but he did something along the lines of he said that The Dark Knight was way overrated and Catwoman was good. I mean, it's really easy to tell these people who they are, what they do, and it becomes ironic that some of these people will get angry about YouTube horrors, yet they will whore themselves out for views and money by holding a contrarian position. You want extra views and you want extra subscribers because you are going against the unpopular opinion, and I will lead you to the promised land. That's doable, guys. See you guys later.